Ladies and gentlemen, thieves and crooks, hustlers of all ages, I am the Comic Outlaw, and it's my absolute pleasure to bring you the Savage She-Hulk, issue 1. Yes, we're doing the origin of She-Hulk, y'all, and we're going to drop it just like that and see where it goes. You like it? I might cover a bit more. One of my favorite and one of the most sexiest characters, I might add, in the Marvel Universe. So, we're going to be dropping like this as Bruce Banner is coming into town, running from the police, still wearing those purple pants he's always famous for at the time. And he's in Los Angeles, of course. He's looking for his cousin, Jen Walters, who happens to be a lawyer. Basically, Bruce's best friend in the world, kind of like his sister. And he's talking, and Bruce is explaining that he's on the run from the cops. And she's wondering why. And this is where Bruce, in a rare moment, feels like sharing and explains the origin of Hulk. How he invented a gamma bomb. How there was a kid out in the middle of the field named Rick Jones who has an important part to play in Captain America Hydra. Later on, he saves the kid, gets blasted by the gamma rays, and turns into the Hulk. Stunned by this, of course, Jen reels back, but as always, their family. And Jennifer herself is actually in a bit of trouble of her own. She's been leaking information, trying to save this client of hers, about a mob boss, and that she has certain evidence. And this is also, in a lot of ways, not only stupid, but dangerous. And of course, they take a shot at her. And there's Jen, shot, bleeding. Now, Bruce, using a hose, and I love, this is so Stanley right. I've seen this, cops use this on, for riot control. It is so funny, it took me so long to read that, but I was trying not to laugh. It is such a 60s remark in a 1980s comic, it just bears hilarity in a very odd sort of way. So Bruce drives off, and he's looking for a clinic, and he finds one, and he's trying to control turning into the Hulk. He's fighting his rage right now, and you could feel that. He breaks in, and then of course Bruce is a doctor. Bruce is a very, very smart man when he's not the Hulk, and he figures a blood transfusion is the only thing that'll do. So he gives the transfusion, he prays, hopes for the best, and he ends up calling the police. Yes, he calls the popo on himself, to save his cousin's life. Of course, they show up, they get her to the hospital, and the cops take him into custody because she is an attorney after all. They want to know his involvement. He didn't have any identification. He's already being hunted by the police. And this stresses him out beyond everything, plus her being shot. He hulks out and just bashes his way out of the wall. Later on, hiding out, he's reading in the newspaper that she's going to recover, and he decides to hightail it out of there and leave her on her own, hoping for the best. And as she sits there, she wonders what's happening, what's going on. She starts to piece everything together, and then the mobsters come in to finish the job. They pour a little substance into a rag, they pin her down, and they start poisoning her, thinking this is going to be a nice, easy, crisp kill. But they didn't know about the blood transfusion. They didn't know about the rage inside of her. They didn't know about the gamma spawned She-Hulk. And she just, boom! In one loud no, she throws them off. Fully enraged, they coin the phrase She-Hulk, and she decides if that's the name that they give her, then that's the name that she will use. And she just throws the bed at them, and they go scurrying out, running for the hills. And She-Hulk pursues. And the interesting thing about She-Hulk is it seems that she's more vocal than the other Hulk. They try to go down the elevator, she rips it up, she pulls it up, and then kabam! She rips through the roof. They run out the elevator, screaming. I guess it's not an easy hit after all, huh, boys? And as she pursues them, nurses, doctors get in the way, and she just pushes her way across them. Coming down the stairs, she grabs a pole, and She-Hulk just does what She-Hulk does and just goes to work taking out these criminal scum once and for all. She throws the pole, bam, it just destroys the car, pulls the guy out and makes him confess. Makes him confess that he was the guilty party. See, She-Hulk still has her right frame of mind, even though the rage and the power seem to corrupt her in a certain savage way. And as she's smart enough to go back to her bed and lay down, the nurse wonders, who was that beast, that creature, that savage thing? And as Jennifer Walters sits there knowing that this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of her long run as the savage, the sexy, the wonderful She-Hulk. And what will happen next? I don't know. We'll see. Catch you on the flip side. Yeah.